Right, I just want to do a channel update. Haven't put up a video in a good while, so I thought I'd just put up a rambling video. It's as easy as any video to put up. Just want to discuss a few things or cover a few topics on the YouTube channel. I have a few videos, like I was out with the camera, so I have a few things to pop up. Just been busy lately. I just haven't got around to editing. So there's a few things I was looking into, just little projects, little ideas I have. Everybody, or a lot of people on YouTube are a little cheesed off as time goes on. YouTube gets more restrictive. And like I know, for instance, I have put up a few videos in the past, many years ago, and only now they're getting maybe blocked or strike throughs are going on them, things like that. For instance, the recent one that I put up, the mock wedding, it has background music, Cliff Richard background music, so obviously it gets a strike there. I put up many years ago footage of macarons back in the 70s, and again, I suppose a meat factory isn't probably deemed YouTube friendly, so again, I think it's still up there, but it gets a strike, or it gets kind of knocked back a bit. Things like when I'd be up the river and I catch some fish, or if I fillet some fish, the gutting process, all that, YouTube probably is not friendly. And as time goes on, it's probably going to get worse. So I suppose what I've done there is I've backed up YouTube onto another platform called, is it Odyssey? ODYSEE.com, Odyssey.com, I suppose. So what I might do is I'm going to be possibly using it for videos that I maybe can't put up in the future on YouTube. Maybe use Vimeo as well. I was asked, do I earn any money on YouTube? I've been asked it a few times. No, and I never will either. You need 1,000 subscribers even to be considered for monetization, and even if you had 1,000 subscribers, you'd probably only earn maybe 10 cents a month or something like that. Anyway, there's no intentions of creating or monetizing the current channel, and it has just been really an area where I archive stuff because it's safe. Well, possibly not. It's as good a place to keep to store your footage. Saving stuff on hard drive and losing it, and hard drives deplete over the years. So yeah, that's why I kind of initially started up the channel. But it gets good views. Yeah, so yeah, I won't be monetizing it, or I never will have 1,000 subscribers to monetize it anyway. There are ads that appear on some videos, and that's fine. The royalty that would probably, or any money that's generated from those ads would actually go to the background music, the musicians, or whoever owns that music basically would end up getting that royalty, but there's no money coming from YouTube. However, so I have my script here, so I'm just gonna scroll down through it and see what I have to cover on it. Yeah, so I will put up just the odd stat or two. I mean, the YouTube channel, it gets some spikes over the years, like obviously at Christmas, some football games, things like that. They get some spikes. If you put up a new video, it gets some spikes. But on average, you get about 200 views per, I can't remember if it's 24 hours or 48 hours. I must just put up a print screen just to people get an idea. Comments on YouTube, comments are, when you put up a comment on YouTube, it doesn't go up straight away. It just be reviewed in case, you'll always get negative comments no matter what you put up. So, however, what you don't have any feedback on is, the videos can be linked in YouTube, the videos can be linked in Facebook and other places. So, people would put up comments in Facebook on one of the videos that were in YouTube. Unfortunately, that kind of gets lost over time in Facebook. I kind of would urge people, if they have comments on a video, constructive comments on a video, perhaps go into the YouTube channel and comment on it there, because at least it stays with the video in YouTube. It's kind of tied to it. At least that's my feeling anyway. If you put the video up on Facebook, that's fine. It's grand. It's there for a short while. Comments are there for a short while, and then I think it gets lost in the ether, basically. Anyway, that's just my 2 cents on that one. Let me see. Costs. Yeah, there's a cost to have the channel up there. Well, YouTube is free, but I mean, boy, there has been some costs over the years in getting the stuff up there. With this year alone, I would have actually sent off 3, 4, 5, 6 videos up to Dublin to get converted. So that would have been several €100. Yeah, I mean, there's costs, like, I mean, camera. I have a drone. I had a drone. It's broken now. Might have to get another drone if I'm going to intend doing any of that. So, you have costs for these things, but it's all part of the hobby, and it's fun to do anyway. Unfortunately, I think drones. I still would like to get another drone, but you have to register them now, and you have to do some training. There is a website I have to join, submit your drone to it, do a little bit of online training, and which I don't mind doing. I must do that. So again, there'll be costs behind that. Yeah, so there's I would say over the years, there's definitely been a few grands involved in setting up YouTube or keeping it going. So I've decided on a few little projects going forward, and one I would like to investigate a little more into the likes of Patreon and see if it's a runner. It might help fund a few of those things. I want to do a bit of live streaming, get some equipment, things like that. So I'm gonna try out Patreon as a fundraiser, just to keep the thing flowing. There is also another alternative called Buy Me a Coffee. I think Patreon is more on tiers. You can put in several tiers. The first tier would be possibly early access to some YouTube videos. Second tier, which would cost a bit more, it might be live chat, a live stream, and then there'd be VIP tours, and different prices as you go up. But I don't think I'm going to be doing that. That's a bit too complicated maybe at the start. So I'm just going to maybe try out and put up one tier. I believe that you can call it a support tier, that you're just supporting the site, or you're just supporting the projects. You're funding the projects, and you can opt in and out anytime you want, or you can keep the monthly thing going. I might try popping up a Revolut link as well. That might generate once-off donations, possibly. So I'll put the link for the Patreon site, and if you want to consider becoming a member, I'll put it down the description. Yeah, and the tricky thing was trying to come up with, well, what would the cost be for becoming a member of your Patreon site? I've asked a few. I've looked at the Patreon sites and things like that, and I've put up a figure of €12.50 per month. Might be a bit too much. Some people said it was too little. Patreon get their cut from it. Taxes and various things come out of it. I suppose it's what's 2 pints of Guinness? That'd be close. Although some people would say, listen, you're no Netflix, so that would be a subscription to Netflix, so you can bugger off. I'm going to pay Netflix instead. That's your choice, totally. Fire ahead. Let me see. Yeah, so listen, even if the Patreon thing doesn't work out and nobody becomes a member, it really doesn't matter a whole pile. I mean, I'm going to join it and set it up just for the learning of it, and just seeing how the model works. It's nice to know how some of these things work. It's it might be I think there's always opportunities for other organisations like the Tidy Towns in Butlersbridge, for instance. A Patreon site might be good for them. I know I'd subscribe to it if they had one. It'd be a way of generating some funds for the Tidy Towns committee. So Martina and Sonia and the gang, if you're tuning into this video, might be no harm looking that up. I am a Patreon of 2 sites. I'll put links in the descriptions as well, or two people that have put up stuff on Patreon. I follow Mossy Bottom, basically a guy over in Sligo, self-sufficient kind of guy. So an interesting site, and I like tuning in, and I highly recommend looking at him. And if you can support him, fire ahead. And I also signed up as a Patreon to Book of Leaves. I'll put the link as well for that. Some interesting topics there as well. Definitely worthwhile checking out. So again, I'm looking at my script here, back and forth from the camera and so on. There's things in Patreon, so I mean, I'm open to ideas. So if you are a member, if you do decide to or consider to become a member of it, you can leave messages in Patreon for me for ideas and suggestions and live chat and various things like that. So some of the goals that I would put in the Patreon, if you become a member of the Patreon thing, I mean, the funds are to fuel a bit of creative content for the, for the local area here. A couple of things, let me see. So one of the things it might fund, I mean, I did convert videos in many years ago, 10 years ago more, for the YouTube site, but it was using a VHS player, and you've seen a video possibly beforehand where, there's a far better way of doing it, far better results. And while these VHS tapes might still be about, I'd like to get a second chance to borrow them again off the owners and send them to Dublin, pay the fee. And some of these things they're part of history now, so it'd be nice to get them digitized in as best possible condition, and have them for good. So that's one thing I hope to do. There's I remember I got off the Clails harp talent competitions in the Derrigara, so I wouldn't mind if I could get my hands on them again and get them digitized. As I say, fund some new equipment. Examples, I'm going to try out some live streaming. Just outside there is my barbecue setup, and I have a camera out there at the moment. I'll put the link on it, and you can view it. So I will leave the password off it for the moment, but once I get the Patreon set up, I'll put a password on it. That camera is an Armcrest camera. It does not have audio, so you won't hear a thing on it. But for Patreon going forward, I hope to buy a similar camera that would have audio on it. So basically, any of the members, I suppose you could say, if I'm hosting something out there, having the barbecue on, maybe having a guest over, I wouldn't mind. For instance, I could schedule once a month, sitting out there with my glass of wine, reading topics of the Celt to any people from Butlersbridge abroad that want to catch up on the news. You can ask me various things. I don't know. These are all ideas. I wouldn't mind asking one or two musicians that I know to pop around with their guitar and play a few songs live. At the same time, they'd be recorded, so they'd go up afterwards, and they'd be there for good. So again, you'd like to be in the position to be able to pay them a few euro. You know what it's like for musicians these days. It's hard to make a buck. So that's one idea. I wouldn't mind trying that maybe once or twice a month. Non-YouTube. Let me see, that's a topic I have here. So nothing's going to change on the channel at the moment. The YouTube channel is there at the moment, and any old archive footage that is there is going to remain there. And if I get any more, I'll also put it up there. However, the stuff that's maybe non-YouTube friendly, when I'm up the river fishing or on a lake or doing a bit of foraging, doing a bit of droning possibly, I might just put up snippets of those videos on YouTube and put the fuller versions up on Patreon. That might be the plan there. So it'll be accessible to Patreon members. You know, like especially if I can get a few musicians, some live musicians, you know, even though the live stream would be available, I'd put up a little overlay on the camera to say when the event is taking place. But apart from viewing the live stream, I'd also then have an edited version offline that somebody could view later, you know, so they'd be all for the Patreon members. So let me see, anything else? Yeah, so permanent fixed camera. Yeah, I'm going to let you view that and have a look at it. I'm going to put the password on it, put the password off it. Let's just see how that looks. Q&A. Oh yeah, the live stream and end of things. Yeah, when you're doing that, I mean, I'm going to have a camera out there just 24/7, and 90%, maybe 95% of the time, there is going to be nothing out there. Just you'll be looking at the area. If you're abroad, you can look in and see what the weather's like, but there'll be an overlay on it just saying when the next event is coming up. Because that camera is going 24/7, and you know there's hosting fees involved in that. So I'm actually using. I've already signed up for a year to try it out. I'm using angelcam.com. I'm on the standard plan, so you can go on to angelcam.com and check out what their fees are there. So I suppose that's another cost that we're using as well. Another cost that we've signed up for. So I've lots of ideas. I'll put the Patreon link down in the description. Consider signing up. I mean, I know it's per month, but you can always opt out. Maybe you could just sign up and view 1 month. You know, it's going to be quite small scale, and it's going to be hard to gauge really how it goes. I'll check. Let me see. Also, I suppose I will be putting up maybe, I'm going to try out Revolut as well. There's I have an @PADRAIKON is my Revolut user ID. So anybody could make a donation to the Patreon thing, and you'd also gain access if you use Revolut. Once off payment, you add a note to it and things like that. Anyway, so that's all I have for now. Looking forward to a few things. Oh, by the way, this is one of this background video here is one of Theo's that I got digitized as well, and it was Pascal Lyons doing his lessons up in the local hall back in the, would it be the 90s, 93ish maybe? And I was talking to Pascal on Messenger as well. He said it was nice to look back on it. All right, he wouldn't be able to get away with it nowadays. in a hall, you'd have to be in more plush surroundings to pull that off. So he enjoyed watching it. So and there's also another video up there that I'm looking out for the original. I only seen a clip on some other YouTube channel, came across it by accident. There was a documentary done on fishing in Ireland. What was the name of it? It doesn't come to me now. But when they were doing the documentary around Ireland, they had the cameras down at the bridge, and a lot of the locals were on the bridge fishing. They had no idea they were being filmed at the time. It was in the 70s, probably. We don't know. Frankie Connolly was there, Mary O'Rourke was there. It's only really literally seconds, but it's nice to see the whole gang of them up on the bridge at that time, all with not a care in the world, I'm sure. So yeah, that's it for now. Check out the Patreon site down in the description. Talk to yous. Okay, this is our setup. This is our outdoor area where we have a brolly to keep the rain off. Fire and plenty of wood. So we hope to have a live stream event here maybe once a month. Let's not be too ambitious. I'd like to do it twice a month. But let's see how we fare out with once a month first. So if you become a Patreon, you'll have the benefit of joining us when we do a live stream from here. Hopefully we'll have a musician or two. I'll have a camera. This is my camera. Now we hope to change that camera and have audio on it to record the live stream. And hopefully with the help of some Patreon funding and maybe buy me a coffee funding and possibly Revolut funding. Don't know, we might get no funding whatsoever, but we'd hook up a good microphone to that camera. There'd be a small, inexpensive mixing desk, something that will let us hook up maybe 2 or 3 devices to it. And as the winter comes in, this will be a nice little cozy area just for a little bit of music, a bit of chit chat. Who knows? We'll see what happens. Obviously at the end of a live stream, we'll take all the footage and edit it down, have maybe other cameras doing different angles on it. I think it'd be nice. There's good heat coming from that. Should keep us cozy on a frosty night. Don't fall. Yeah. That'll be us putting on our barbecue. A few burgers, a few beers, some wine. Looking forward to trying it out. So consider becoming a Patreon. Hopefully we'll have a bit of fun. All right.